I'm afraid my spouse won't disclose all assets. What should I do? Hi, I'm Bill Farias, founder of Farias Family Law. We spoke to a woman about a month ago, and this was her exact concern. She doesn't have a lot of control over the party's assets, and she's afraid that her husband is going to engage in funny business to try to hide assets from her. So there are a couple of things that you can do if you're in this situation. Number one is we usually recommend getting the case filed. The importance of this is that once the other party is served, there is an automatic restraining order that goes into effect that essentially restricts the types of transactions someone can engage in. So it is more difficult once a divorce is filed to make certain transactions to hide assets. It's still possible, but it's riskier for the other party to do that because they are violating a court order. And so if you think that your spouse is going to engage in funny business, it's usually a good idea to get the case into the system. The other thing that you can do is do some homework on exactly what is going on in terms of the assets you hold, any activity. And I know this can be difficult, but you want to try to do it in a way that's inconspicuous, that's not going to raise doubts and suspicion, but just try to get info. Look around for documents, have conversations, try to get some information about what the holdings are and where the money is, because that's going to help your attorney really hone in on asking for information about the assets that matter. Finally, you want to work with the attorney on doing comprehensive discovery. And what this means is that if you cast the net wide enough in terms of the information that you are asking your spouse for through your attorney, you are more likely to run into information that gives you the knowledge that you need and the specific info that you need to track down certain assets. And sometimes this can be done indirectly. Like, for example, we will see a transaction in a bank statement that raises a red flag. We can then ask questions about that specific transaction. And there are many more examples, but the bottom line is, if you have some information about what you think is going on and you talk to your attorney about it, the attorney can draft requests that will maximize your chances of getting to the specific information that you need. It won't always work, but it's absolutely the best way to go under these circumstances where you don't know where everything is and you fear that things are being moved around or hidden. You have to cast the net wide. You have to get information that's at least going to possibly point to the pieces of evidence that will send you in the right direction and ultimately help you figure out where these assets are and what happened with them. You want to make sure that you take a balanced approach to this. So in other words, you want to make sure that what you're doing is cost effective, right? Like, if your spouse is hiding something, but it's insignificant, then sure, it might be worth engaging in some limited discovery to try to track that down and figure out what's going on. But you want to be careful about spending $5,000 on legal fees to chase down $1,000, right? So if possible, you want to get an idea of what it is that's at issue to make sure that the discovery process is cost effective for you and that you're not wasting time and money. But nonetheless, overall, it's important to try to figure out what's happening and where the assets are. You could raise some credibility concerns with the judge, which is also valuable. But again, you don't want to go overboard and just spend a ton of money where you're not getting enough in return. So how do you tackle this issue of not knowing where your assets are, fearing that your spouse is moving your assets around, you got to get the case filed. You have to try to do some digging yourself to get some information about what's going on. And you want to work with your attorney to come up with a comprehensive and effective discovery plan that's going to maximize your chances of unearthing the information that you need to figure out exactly what's out there and how much. If you have any questions about this, you can call us 508-675-0464. If you found this video helpful, you can like it, subscribe to our channel, share it with anyone you think might benefit from it. And you can also find us on social at Farias Family Law. Thank you. Have a good day.